Right now, I want you to visualize you're going through a problem. You're facing it, and this is a challenge you just can't seem to overcome. Now, most people in this situation, they want to give up. They want to stop. They don't want to continue forward. But then you hear that voice in the back of your head saying, you got to push through. You got to make it happen. You have to push through. You can feel yourself wanting to give up, but in the end, you overcome it and you solve the problem you're facing. What if you could have that mindset? What if you could always make the right decision, make the right choice when it comes to solving a problem, overcoming adversity, or facing challenges? Well, in this video, that's what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you a practical mindset that you can use in order to overcome challenges, adversity, and no matter what comes up, you'll be able to make shit happen. It's Prinston Hicks coming to you from the Centerverse, and I'm about to show you what it means to be defeated by success. Now, a lot of times when it comes to anything in life, we're momentum based. So based on the momentum that we've already built, we continue to go in that direction. So what happens when somebody's winning all the time? What happens when somebody hasn't faced any negative situations or hasn't went through any adversity? Well, I'll tell you what happens. Recently, my friend Will Powell, he was telling me about this promotional group he was working with. In this promotional group, they've done a lot of big events. They've done a lot of successful events. Now, the only problem with this is that they've never really had an event that failed. Now, on the surface, this may seem like a good thing, right? Well, you know, they haven't had any events that failed. They haven't had any adversity. So that's what you want in business, right? You don't want to have any failures. You definitely don't want to have any adversity. But I'm going to tell you why this is one of the worst positions you can be in. And actually, if you're only taking successes, you're a failure waiting to happen.
I like to use this story because it's something very original, true to my heart. I was dating this girl. Everything was going amazing. We liked each other. She liked me. I liked her. We used to kick it, chill, hang out, all the good stuff. But then, all of a sudden, shit changed. You wanna know why? Because I started thinking, well, why does she like me? Am I good enough for her? I know there's other people out there better than me. Why does she want to talk to me? And these are the same type of things that happen when you're successful. It doesn't have to necessarily be a relationship, could be a business, could be a partnership, could be fucking school. You might be going through a test and breezing through, and you might think you know all the answers, then at the end of the test, you start questioning yourself like, dang, did I really study that question? Well, maybe this question, I should change it to this. And that's what we call being defeated by success. Don't be afraid to be successful. You're supposed to be successful. Embrace being successful. You are successful. Wake up, tell yourself that every day. Take massive action, guys.
So, recently, on a documentary released about Will Powell's life, Confessions of a Nightlife Architect, he talked about his entire journey, the ups, the downs, everything he had went through. But what I realized was that Will had been built by failure, just like I had been built by failure, while others had been defeated by success. So what does this mean? Any person who has not been through adversity, who's not struggled, who's not faced any challenges, they're going to find it difficult to push themselves and take risks. The only reason that I push myself, take risks, come out here, film videos, or even have pushed myself in business is because of the adversity I've went through. But every person who has never faced adversity, guess what happens? They fold up like little bitches every time there's a problem or a struggle. See, success, there's an old saying, it's a self-development saying, the enemy of the best is the good, which basically means that when you're progressing, when you get good at something, when you get far in life, you begin to get soft, you begin to get complacent. Let's think about stuff like an artist, like a rap artist. You know, they put out their first album, that shit is crazy, that shit is fire. But then as they keep going, it gets worse and worse and worse because what? They lose that hunger, they lose that drive, they lose that fire. And that's the same thing with entrepreneurship. In a way, if you're sleeping on the floor, if you're at your mama's house, if you're coming from being homeless, if you got all these kids and all these obligations, those things are actually a blessing to you because those things will keep you motivated. There's no way you could not be motivated if you have to take care of a kid. If you're sleeping on the streets, you're going to be pretty motivated in order to make shit happen. However, if you're living in a comfortable, cush lifestyle, you know, you've got money put in your account every week, everything's taken care of, everything's paid for, what's the motivation to work? What's going to make you work? And therefore, you become defeated by your own success. Because you've had success in the past, you don't push through, and you don't make shit happen. So how can we overcome this? If you watched us for a while, you know we're big on taking massive action, massive action. So when you ask yourself, how do I get out of this state of being defeated by my successes? There's really one way. I call it terrorizing myself. Now, one of the biggest things that I always do to myself, one thing that I've always done to make sure that I don't stay complacent, is make sure that all the time I'm challenging myself. It's just a simple system. When I see myself taking too much wins back to back to back, what I always do is put myself in uncomfortable situations to make sure that I grow. See, when I talk about sleeping on the floor or something like that, that's not bragging rights. That's not to show you how much struggle I've been through, because other people have come from way worse situations and done a lot, and people have come from way higher situations and done less. The point is that those struggles and adversities were the things that caused me the most growth. So all the time I put myself in difficult situations. I come out here and film in situations, in locations where people are walking around, maybe people are walking into the camera, people are talking to me, people are trying to, like, looking at us like we're weird or some shit like that, because that's pushing my comfort zone. It makes you more confident when you talk to other people because you pushed your comfort zone. That's what it means not to be defeated by success. I can sit in the room and I can talk to you and it can be comfortable. It can be a really nice video where I tell you about the concepts and the finer points of entrepreneurship. Or I get out here in the fucking mud and challenge myself and bring you some shit that's really going to hit you at a different level. But where's the most growth going to come from? Where do you think the most growth comes from? Sitting at home, sitting on your successes? Or do you think it comes from pushing yourself and getting outside your comfort zone? I call it terrorizing myself because no matter how comfortable I get, if I know I need to do something, I'm saying that's what you have to do. When I jumped on the stage and Tap the Future, it was like a year ago now, it was because I was terrorizing myself. Do you think I wanted to do that? You think I wasn't nervous or worried about it? No. But I knew I had to take the risk in order to push myself, in order to get to the next level. That's what it takes to get outside your comfort zone. So you have to terrorize yourself. You have to be willing to push through boundaries that you never thought you'd be able to push through before. Because let me tell you something. While you're sitting back and you're getting comfortable, you're running up the money, you're running up the bands, you got money coming in, everything's flowing. You might have women, you've got all the people giving you attention. Everybody's just cheering your name, talking about how great you are, how wonderful you are, and all the things and how you're going to change the world. What an inspiration you are. And you feel yourself feeling that sense of accomplishment. You feel yourself slowing down. I want you to understand one thing. There's somebody who is coming from less, who is sleeping on the floor, who is putting themselves in uncomfortable situations, that's creeping up, ready to take that spot and ready to take your position. It's not because it's competitive. It's because the people who are hungry, they push. They create amazing shit. They do the things that you look at and say, how are they doing this? How are they making things like this happen? That's the big thing I want you to take and want you to understand from this video. In order to not be defeated by success, you have to proactively look at yourself, analyze yourself, see when you're getting complacent, see when you're taking too many wins. Like Will said, don't worry about don't be ashamed of being successful. There's nothing wrong with being successful, but understand, anytime you want to grow, anytime you want to get to a new level, it's going to require you, rather, to have to push yourself and get outside your comfort zone. And that's what I wanted to share with you today, being defeated by success. So remember that. Look at situations in your own life. Look at how you cannot be defeated by success. And remember one thing, if you get complacent, and if you don't take action, massive action, you will fall off, you will regress, and you'll never accomplish the greatness that you always could. Take massive action. Like and subscribe for more. Join the massive action movement. I'll see you next time. They'll tell you it's impossible to succeed. They'll tell you school, education, getting a job, it's the only way out. Or you'll lose friends, family. You'll be criticized and even laughed at. I've seen all the motivational videos, the quotes, and the thought leaders. I'm going to show you the journey from the inside. Come watch the journey of an entrepreneur.